Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 13th episode of Off the Cuff. So, this is going to be a short episode, most likely. I'm going to start with something I missed last week. So, Tommy Robinson has been charged again, or at least he's got a trial date again. And I'm very, very annoyed to hear this, of course, because, he was already spent months in jail, 23 hours in a solitary confinement for most of the time, and it's just like it's gone, it's finished, okay, and the whole case should be over. That's really the way it goes. It should be over, and so it really does beg the question: why are they bringing this up again now? There's many reasons you could try and decide on why would they try and charge him again. Now, the one theory I've seen is that it's because it's leading up to Brexit. They're trying to distract people. I say leading up to Brexit because it's coming to the 29th of March. They're trying to distract people from everything that's going on, and so they're trying to kind of the government are trying to split people's focus. On the other hand, another reason, obviously, is just that they're trying to punish Tommy. Obviously, yes, the original was the whole. I think the whole logic of it is that the original trial, wasn't conducted properly, but not that there was any issue with the charges. They didn't have the charges dropped. Now, the problem with that for me is that honestly, the charges are already trumped up as it stands. Now, I think that it's going to be interesting because let's say they do charge him. Is he going to get a proper imprisonment now? Because it's a white-collar crime that he committed. No one's ever been imprisoned for breaching a reporting restriction. Although, wait, no, they've brought another charge now, apparently. They brought this charge that he caused anxiety to the Muslim man that's now convicted of child rape. Now, what's the problem there is that... I didn't realize anxiety was a crime. Causing anxiety was a crime. I didn't realize that. But focusing on the main one, the reporting restriction breach, obviously Tommy said there was nothing there. It will be interesting, though, because if they charge him again now, the trial's going to be hopefully going to have a bit more attention, and he's going to actually have a solicitor. Now, last time they rushed it through in a matter of hours. This time they've got time. He's got time to prepare. He's got time to get support. Do they really think that it's going to go down the same way? He's got people behind him now. It's not just going to go down in a matter of hours. So I think that Tommy might actually survive. And I believe he's counter-suing the... actually, can't remember who it was. But I believe it was one of the police forces. That's very helpful, isn't it? I believe Tommy is charging Cambridge Police. He's suing Cambridge Police for harassment. So that's going to be an interesting one. Now, I don't really have too much to say on that. It's kind of everyone's got their opinions on it. There's not a great deal that can be said about that. I will quickly cover over something that happened today. It's another quick thing to just cover, which is, that the Theresa May's deal has been blocked again. I can't believe she's still pushing it, but yeah, even after supposed changes that have been made to it, legally binding changes, we've heard that one before, it's gotten blocked again and it's gone. But unfortunately, the real crap news here is no deal was taken off the table as well, as far as I'm aware. Now, that to me is a real, that's horrible to hear, but it just makes me think, right? Because the 29th of March is approaching now. May's deal's not making it through. The EU aren't really willing to budge, and so they can't get any deals through thus far. Nothing's really being accepted. But the 29th of March is approaching. It's not, you can't stop time. So you've taken no deal off the table. So it's like, okay, so we're not going to just leave. But then what are you going to do on the 29th if you don't have a deal? You're just going to keep kind of pushing it? What happens if you don't get Article 50? I believe the plan that everyone's expecting now that Article 50, they'll try and extend that. We'll see how that goes. Honestly, I think it's unlikely to get extended. We'll see. We will see. If it does get extended, honestly, I think people are going to be very angry. And hey, please, yeah, no, actually, thinking about it, please extend it. Extend Article 50. Because the more you enrage the public, the more they will be driven away from you. So yeah, please do give us more support. That'd be great. Now, moving onwards, this is like a facepalm, what in the hell kind of thing going on here. And it's no surprise now that Theresa May is the Prime Minister. So apparently in April this year, the government are introducing a porn ban. Oh dear. Oh dearie. Okay, so you know how pirating websites are illegal? You know, they're banned. You know, software pirating. Do you know how easy it is to find a piracy website? It's pretty easy. Do you know how easy it is to get around a ban on the internet? Now let's cover all of these. Let's go over all of this. Okay, so firstly, if you want to access a website, so you got these porn websites that have these age ID stuff. VPNs exist for a start. It's really easy to get around. You can use Tor, the Tor network. You can get around blocks that way. There are so many ways to get around the block by using a proxy in another country. Let's say you can't do that. Okay, I'll give you another little hint, right? If you want to access some dodgy stuff, you can Google search. I'm serious. If you want to find that kind of stuff, you go do a Google image search. Go Google image search porn right now. Let me know what you see. I mean, unless Google's going to remove the safe search filter stuff, so you can't switch it off if you live in the UK or something. But frankly, I don't think. What are we going to do here? We're going to ban Google Images as well. You can't access Google Images. Now, all of that is already ridiculous. It's functionally impossible to block content. 100%. It's impossible. There's too many ways around it. There's too many doors. Now, let's move aside from all that. There's this whole thing of how they're going to do it. The government hasn't actually specified how it needs to be done. They've actually shunted that responsibility to other groups, such as this MindGeek, who are actually the owners of major porn websites. And so, you know, their incentives are to get people onto their websites because they own the websites. So you really think they're going to do a proper job about it? A good job about it? So, yeah, MindGeek are going to be handling a lot of it, apparently. And not only that, MindGeek have also, if you check their privacy policy, they're going to be selling your data. And what data they sell could change at any point. They might start selling your address and information. Not to mention the fact that, considering that because they own Pornhub, I believe, and YouPorn and a few other sites, they can track your usage. If you buy one of their Age ID licenses, they can track you with that, no doubt. Because if you submit your Age ID, it will be on your browser. So your Age ID, they'll be able to track you wherever you go, and they'll have your name assigned to that ID with your address and potentially your bank details. So that is very dangerous, very, very dangerous. And it gets even better. I say better. It gets even worse. There's this, just to show how much the government know about this. I believe my favorite quote. I need to find the link for this quote. But I saw a quote from a guy who's in the government. He was saying that this Age ID system, you'll be able to log in once and you'll never have to log in again. That is a load of rubbish. You see, when you log in, you submit something on your browser. That happens on your browser. It can save a cookie on that browser. If you go onto your phone or your tablet or any other device, it does not have that same information. And if it did somehow know that that ID had been used before, had been submitted before, and therefore allow any device using that, then you could just share your ID with other people and they could just get through that way. So that's completely insecure. But frankly, it's ridiculous and it's stupid. And I think Theresa May's tried to pass stuff like this before. I'm not for like people watching and using pornography, but you can't restrict it. You can't. The top-down approach will not work. And you would think that $1 billion companies trying to stop torrenting would have proven that. It's impossible to stop. There are too many porn websites. There are too many ways onto those websites. And yeah, you're playing whack-a-mole, except instead of like about 10 whack-a-moles, you've got millions of them. So good luck with that. We'll see how that goes. And I count the days till before it gets dropped or before the uproar about it gets too strong. But hey. Oh yeah, and of course I forgot the final thing. What happens if people can't access porn? They don't know enough. They will turn to other ways. They'll turn to other reasons or dodgier websites. Currently a lot of the major porn websites are relatively okay or safe as far as I'm aware. But these if people don't have the option of going to the major ones, they'll find whatever they can, and they will probably end up in very bad areas of the internet or bad areas of the country. Who knows? They might end up buying things that they're going to regret. Anyway, well, honestly, that's just, it's a ridiculous plan, and I'm curious to see where that goes. Now, there's this one more thing I wanted to talk about, and I've not been following it too much. It's this whole thing around Michael Jackson, right? So, I heard that basically a bunch of radios have stopped playing his music because of, I don't know, his history of sexual abuse. That's my understanding of it anyway. So, let's say Michael Jackson, let's just say for a second that he did. Everything that they say about him is true. How is his music the same thing? Do you just drop dead and do nothing in the United States because the United States has a history of slave trade? No, you don't do that. Do you it doesn't make sense because Michael Jackson made great music. I don't personally like his music that much, but, he's a pop idol. He's one of the biggest pop stars in history. And to ban his music, to stop playing his music because of something he did, makes no sense. You can be proud and admire something good that someone has done, and you can completely berate and, hate them for the bad things that they've done. I admire, for example, Theresa May's consistency to push for her stupid deal. All the while I hate her actual government governing over the country. You can hate one thing about someone and like something else. You don't have to ban someone and shun them, making them persona non grata just because of something that they've done. You don't have to cast away everything else. It's throwing the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. Hopefully no one will clip that out, So frankly, I couldn't care less about stuff with Michael Jackson, but there's no reason to completely hate on someone because of something they did. It seems to be all the rage these days, and it'll never make sense to me, really. That's about all I've got this week. It's really not much, but I'm trying not to include too many things that I don't really have too much to say about. So, yeah, I'll share the links to some of this stuff, some more stuff I've seen about the porn ban and how ridiculous it is. And that's about all I got links on this week. So I'll just post the links below, and I'll be back next week. So yeah, have a great week and enjoy the news. Till next time.